Lakers will start small with World Peace at the 4, and Robert Sacre, called up from the D-League, will make his second career start, the first being last night in a loss to Houston. And for San Antonio, it's been a terrific season for Danny Green. And Kawhi Leonard back healthy now, Splitter, Duncan, and Tony Parker having another all-star season for the Spurs. The Lakers last week, in particular, Steve Nash on Friday before the Clippers game said, hey, this next week, we'll know what kind of a team you really are. Well, here you go.
Well, not a great time to lose all three of your centers. Jordan Hill out, Dwight Howard out, Pau Gasol out. You're coming here to San Antonio. This is definitely not a place you want to be without your center playing a guy like Tim Duncan the way he's played this season.
Howard has the shoulder injury suffered against the Clippers. Gasol with a concussion. He'll be reevaluated tomorrow. And then you talked about the other guy, Jordan Hill, who was really playing well. A hip injury suffered against Denver. He's out. Meanwhile, the Spurs pretty healthy now. Lost 2 of their last 3, though, including a Monday night defeat against the Hornets, the first team under 500 that they've lost to this entire season. Tony Parker having his best scoring season in 4 years, 19 points per game. Here's Duncan, Sacre defending, and Duncan with a miss, cleared by World Peace.
Ron Artest's going to have to do a good job on the glass. He's got Splitter. He's an offensive rebounder. World Peace has got to be in the paint, boxing him out tonight.
Spurs will start with Leonard on Bryant. He'll rise with the 3 and off target. Kobe averaging about 22 shots per game. He's taken the most field goal tries in the NBA by a wide margin over Russell Westbrook. Parker traveled, slid the pivot foot. He was trying to stop and deliver a pass.
Now the Lakers really struggling with dribble penetration, just straight blow-bys direct to the rim. They're going to have to do a better job tonight because other than Sacre, no interior bigs that are going to be a deterrent at the rim.
When the Lakers go to the bench, you'll see Jamison come in, Antoine Jamison, and play the 5 as Bryant drives into traffic. Good play by Leonard with a steal. Numbers for San Antonio. Leonard all the way, missed the layup.
Fortunate for LA there, but you've got to stop the basketball. Leonard just misses the chippy.
World Peace for 3. Averaging 14 points per game, double the scoring mark from a year ago.
Now that's an advantage that the Lakers have. Splitter not used to playing guys out on the perimeter. World Peace can pull him away from the basket and get some threes. As Parker goes back door and gets a nice pass from Duncan to put it in.
Isn't that what you're talking about there? Okay, the first guy gets beat, but then Nash has his back turned, and there's a layup right behind him.
Yeah, help the helper. This is not what the Lakers are doing. You hear Eric Spoelstra, the Miami Heat, talk about multiple effort plays. The Lakers just not having them thus far this season.
World Peace with all 5 for the Lakers, who have an early 3-point lead. He had 24 last night in the loss to Houston. They gave up 125 to the Rockets last night. That's kind of been their MO on the road. They really struggle in particular defensively as Parker gets inside for his first basket.
Just a simple side pick and roll, and Parker gets to 5 feet from the rim. Nobody comes over to help.
Check that second basket for Parker. There's Kobe with a left hand, and he's off to a slow start, 0 for 3. Parker is all 6 for the Spurs, and they lead it by 1.
Parker having an unbelievable season, 19.7 boards, career highs all across the board. You know, you never hear his name when you talk about the great point guards in the NBA, but 11 years now this guy's been doing it.
Having a terrific year shooting the 3, Tony Parker as well. Good pass inside to Duncan. That was a beautiful play by Tony Parker, and Mike D'Antoni calls for time. 6 straight Spurs points.
Nobody at the rim for the LA Lakers. Tony Parker, simple pick and roll, no help. Steve Nash lunges in. Sacre's late, easy runner for Tony Parker. And this time just a straight jump hook over Steve Nash. And here the pullback finds Duncan for the layup, and the Spurs off to a good offensive season.
And Kobe Bryant having a terrific year statistically, but the Lakers right now in 11th place in the West.
They're the Lakers. No one's feeling sorry for them. People around LA aren't feeling sorry for them. If this was a group that was put together in Milwaukee, they'd have some patience. But this is the Lakers, and this is unacceptable. People need to have a little bit of patience. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. Give this team some time.
Duncan unable to hit and rebounded by Morris. Well, the Laker players keep saying we need more time to get adjusted to Mike D'Antoni and to each other, but when does time run out? You got a lot of teams right now hovering around that 8th spot as world peace scorers. I mean, you got Utah, you've got Portland, you got Denver, a team that hasn't played a lot of home games yet.
Right, no, they're running out of time, and they've talked about the urgency that they have to win games. They can't get too far behind here. You said 11.5 games behind the Clippers. I know that's a first in the history of the NBA for them, but yeah, you see Denver's playing well. They played a ton of games on the road. They're going to be tough to catch. Minnesota, depending on what happens with Kevin Love, they might not be able to stay there. Utah's a better team, needs to play better on the road, but yeah, there's not much room for error as you see Parker again get to the rim. It's difficult. You've got 4 potential Hall of Fame guys that have to make some concessions, and star players are not used to making concessions. I play the way I'm going to play because I'm a star.
Kobe picks up a foul. Well, hold on. The Miami Heat made concessions, and they won a championship.
They have. It took them a year, but they got to the finals in their first year. Look, Dwight Howard came over. He got all the post-ups he wanted when he was in Orlando. Actually, he probably wanted a little bit more, but that's just not going to happen here. We're not going to come down and dump the ball into you. Pau Gasol, I want some post. Well, you're not going to be able to post both these guys at the same time. Kobe Bryant, you've got to get Steve Nash some shots. Steve Nash does all the work. Mike D'Antoni talks to Jose saying, I told Kobe, you've got to get Steve Nash 3 to 5 wide open three-point shots. All the attention's on you. That should be an easy thing to do.
Well, you had him there for a second. Kobe lost the handle. Bryant goes baseline, and Sacre good hustle underneath. And a jump ball as Tim Duncan ties up Sacre.
And you know what's happening is when these guys aren't getting the ball where they want, or they're not accustomed to doing the things that they do on a normal basis, they're letting them affect themselves on the other end. And so they're going down, and maybe they aren't making that extra step to help their teammate who gets beat. Maybe they aren't taking that extra step to go get that loose ball. And you cannot allow your offense, or lack of it, or lack of opportunity to affect you on the other end. And that's what's happening far too many times with this Laker team.
Morris working hard defensively on Parker, then he gets free and hits a jumper. Tony Parker with 8 of the 10 points for San Antonio.
You heard Jalen Rose in the pregame talking about the point guard success against this Laker team. Tony Parker right at it again here out the gates.
Kobe foul will go to the line.
He's just such a better jump shooter. I mean, this guy came in the league. He really struggled to shoot the basketball. This time goes away from the screen. You cannot allow the ball handler to go away from the screen. Always going to get an open shot, and Parker knocks down the jumper.
Kobe Bryant leading the NBA in scoring at 30 points per game, and a career high in field goal percentage this year. At age 34, having an outstanding season individually, but a lot of people have wondered, including our own Magic Johnson, is it at the expense of the team?
Minutes are up as well. You know, I think there should be some concessions made for him as well. I don't fault him that his team record is not very good when he scores 30 plus. It's a difficult quandary. He's in it every year. Should he pass? Should he let the game come to him? Should he be more aggressive? These are questions he has to answer on a nightly basis. It's a very difficult situation when you add the fact that you've got Dwight Howard and Steve Nash as Hall of Famers with you now.
Duncan with his second field goal, so Duncan and Parker have all the San Antonio points. Nash circles through the lane and able to hit over Green.
I love that.
How many times do we see Steve Nash do that in Phoenix when he played for Mike D'Antoni there?
Yeah, you love that. And the key for the defense is to keep your eyes on your man. Don't watch Steve. He's trying to get you just to look at him, and he just needs a little space, and he'll find your man. You got to just pay attention to your own man as Morris is going to get a trip on Tony Parker.
That's 2 on Morris and 3 on the Lakers. Check out this bucket here by Steve Nash playing just his 11th game with the Lakers.
The little Bob Cousy probe here as he just goes around in circles and finds himself a little spot. But you got to keep your eye on your man. As soon as you look at him, he's going to zip a pass right over your shoulder. He wants to pass the ball, but I think for this Laker team, the way things are going right now, he's got to become more aggressive. He's got to be a little more selfish and get some easy opportunities to take the pressure off of Kobe.
Antoine Jamison in, so he'll move to the 4. So a little bit bigger lineup right now for the Lakers as Sacre stays on the court. Shot clock at 3. Ginobili out there for San Antonio. Oh, by the way, good defense by World Peace. He's got Nash Weatherman. Parker takes it away. What a steal by Tony Parker. The Lakers do get back in transition, though. And then a kickball as Parker tried to feed it to a cutting Duncan.
A terrific hustle play there by Tony Parker. Ron Artest. I always say Ron Artest. I'm sorry. I can't go meta world peace. It's too much.
You have to.
Okay, world peace. World peace. He's still playing at a high level defensively, playing well. But what a great hustle play by Tony Parker to save an easy basket.
Duncan through the lane. Leonard from the corner. Can't hit the 3. Loose ball. And the Spurs win that one as they out-hustle the Lakers. 5.5 remaining in the first. San Antonio by 2. Don't forget, the Clippers play next year on ESPN. They've got Dallas at home. Parker misfires. Tapped out to Nash. Clippers with the best record in the NBA entering tonight. They've won 12 in a row at home. Kobe on the drive draws the foul and will go back to the line.
Are you buying into the Clippers?
Yes, absolutely.
They're the best team in the West right now?
I don't know if they're the best team in the West, but I'm buying in that they're one of the best.
Okay.
Having seen them in person several times, including Friday and the way they beat the Lakers.
It's a good cop-out. Oh, I mean, excuse me.
Well, I haven't seen him play Oklahoma City in person.
Okay. That would be fun to watch.
Foul was on Kawhi Leonard. Bryant misses again at the free throw line. And Chris Paul is a big reason why
he's
they
pretty
are
good.
Among the best, if not the best.
He's pretty good.
He has scored the final 8 points to close out that game on Friday night.
I think he can do that more often. I think he's going to have to in the postseason when it becomes a half-court game.
Do you feel they're the best team in the West right now?
I'm still Oklahoma City, but I'm really liking what the Clippers are doing. You have to see it in the playoffs. The playoffs are a different game. And they're not going to get all this high-flying lobs, up and down transition basket. They got to play in a half court. And we'll see if they're able to do that. I think they're much more equipped to do it now. That's for sure.
Kobe Bryant with 2 points, both coming at the free throw line. 2 for 4 at the line, 0 for 3 from the field. Duncan through the lane. And pretty good D by Sacre, but Duncan with his 3rd field goal, 6 points now for Tim.
Dave, you're right on. That's exactly what I was going to say. That was great defense. You get a fadeaway jump hook out of Tim Duncan. That was well done.
Oh, Diallo behind the back. Jackson with a pull-up 3. Nails it. It's been a struggle for Steven Jackson this year, just 25% from behind the arc. But he connects there to push the lead to 6.
A careless Laker turnover leads to a wide open three-point shot as Tim Duncan sends back Sacre, and we're going to get another easy Spur opportunity.
5 straight for Jackson. All started with a Duncan block and a Laker timeout. Diallo with the steal ahead to Jackson. The pull-up 3, and then Tim Duncan, 5th in the NBA in block shots at age 36, stuffs Sacre, and then cherry-picking down court. Jackson with another bucket, 7-0 San Antonio run. Florida State at 2.
A little ACC hoop, you gotta love it.
San Antonio by 8, Nash's jumper's an air ball. Spurs out in transition again. And nobody picks up Jackson. Missed the 3. Backside rebound to Bryant.
Those are the things that are most frustrating. You just had a guy have 5 straight points. You leave him stone cold open for a 3-point shot. You can't do that.
Sacre misfires. He had 10 last night in the loss to Houston in his first NBA start. Duncan had good position down low, and Sacre committed the foul. His first. 14th foul on the Lakers.
Just got to develop.
Let's be realistic. We're a bunch of games behind 500. We got a tough schedule. We got injuries, and we're still trying to figure this thing out. So how much ground can we give up before, it does become too much? So, let's keep fighting. Let's hope for the best, and let's see if we can get in there. But being realistic, you know, these are playoff games for us, you know, now.
Are you surprised to hear a player say that?
It's not a ringing endorsement like this is going to get worked out. And they better hope that it's not a best-of-7 playoff type situation, because they're in trouble. And they got Oklahoma City on Friday night. Who knows how long Howard and Gasol are out.
Kobe now 0 for 4 from the field. Good defense by Jamison, but Jackson ends up with it. Shot clock at 6. The strip by Duhon. And got Jody Meeks wide open down court for an easy dunk. The Lakers need easy baskets here against the San Antonio defense right now.
Desperately, it just seems like they can't come up with a loose ball. Good defense there. Jackson gets it back, but you just got to fight through it. You heard Steve Nash talking. You just got to keep fighting through it. It's tough right now. We're injured. We're hurt. We're struggling. But something can turn this series around, this season around, if you just keep working at it.
Good hands again. Jamison with the strip. 5 turnovers by San Antonio. Kobe without a field goal, just 2 points. Here's Meeks, a 3-point shooter, taking it into the lane. Shot clock at 5, and Bryant tried to spin and got bumped. He hit the deck hard. They can't afford to lose anybody else. He's their only offense with
I think he's more than anybody else. That would be absolutely disastrous. But look, I mean, this is just kind of the type of season. I mean, this ball is down for a good second and a half. It's in the rim and comes back out. And that last possession, they swung the ball nicely, but the last pass from Jamison to Meeks was at his ankles.
Yep.
And you put that on the money, that's an open shot. You've got to pass the ball on target. Little things, they're just, none of the little things are going right for this Laker team.
Jackson just picked up the foul. You see the numbers for Kobe tonight. The rest of the team's doing okay, but that hasn't been the case. Kobe, from a scoring standpoint, has been carrying the Lakers. Gasol averaging 12 points per game this year. That's a career low. Dwight Howard has been up and down. Here's Bryant with 5 and a timer. Working on Jackson with 3. And a 24-second violation. Just a miserable possession for the Lakers offensively there.
13 points in almost 10 minutes of action here in the first quarter. And again, this is a lineup that I don't believe the Lakers had envisioned prior to the season starting. Earl Clark, along with Jamison, Meeks, Kobe, and Chris Duhon. So this is the group that's never worked together, trust me.
That hit the official, so
live
ball.
Can anything else go wrong? I mean, honestly.
Hit Bill Kennedy, and then Neal missed the 3. Clark with a rebound.
Good box out there by Clark.
4th-year man out of Louisville. Clark trying to set a screen for Bryant, and Clark will take the jumper and knock it down. Earl Clark, career 3 points per game for the former first-round pick.
See, at this point, Kobe's got to give up the basketball. The Spurs are putting 3 guys on Kobe Bryant. He's coming off pick and rolls. There's 2 guys waiting. He's got to trust his teammates here in the early going.
Neal nails a 3. 42% from behind the arc the last 2 years, hovering around 35% this year. Lead back to 7 with a minute to go. Kobe on the drive, and Kobe Bryant finally with a field goal. He has 4 points.
Or he can jump over 3 defenders and lay it in, which he's pretty adept at doing. But again, if he's getting double, triple teamed out on the perimeter, he's got to make the next pass and get a teammate an open shot.
Step back 2 won't drop for Ginobili, and Jamison clears.
Well, the energy level's there for the Lakers. They're playing hard on the defensive end. I think people are believing that this team's not playing hard. I don't believe that's the case.
Meeks inside, can't get it to go. Here's Splitter, defended by Earl Clark. Splitter with the half hook, gets it to go. He's shot by Tiago Splitter.
They've really put on that point that I don't believe that it's a lack of effort. When you have a new system, new players, particularly all-star players or Hall of Fame players, very difficult to get your system down and trust it. And until you do that, you're a little bit
Here's
uneasy.
Jamison. And that's the end of the quarter.
I'll get back into that. You got to give a team time to get their system down to they believe and trust. And until that point, energy and focus is just not there. And I believe that's what the case is for the LA Lakers right now.
Welcome back to San Antonio. Spurs up by 7. Mike, defense wasn't bad, just not scoring a lot of points. What'd you see offensively from your team?
Well, I thought we missed a lot of shots. Pretty good shot. We forced some stuff, which we got to quit doing. But we had an opportunity to be right there. Our defense stays like this, we'll be fine because our offense will click in.
Is this a night where you go to Kobe and say, I need 50 or 60?
No, that wouldn't be good.
And the Lakers had 17 points, Chris, in that first quarter. That ties a season low for a first quarter.
How are they going to score now? Kobe Bryant's on the bench.
Diaw, good pass by Ginobili. Splitter, there to put it in. Lakers struggling to rebound on both ends of the floor. And as you mentioned, no Kobe. You got Clark, Jamison, world peace. Meeks and Duhon as your 5. So Meeks says, I'll try a 3, and he misfired.
Well, you just really don't have any playmakers here on the floor. Spot-up shooter, Meeks. That was a good pick and roll. Poor defense by San Antonio. They should just go ahead and switch all perimeter pick and rolls. But really no dribble penetration here for the Laker team.
Shot clock at 6. Neal working on Clark. It's a screen for Diaw and fires. In and out, but Splitter another offensive rebound. He had the smaller Duhon trying to box him out. It'll stay San Antonio ball. First rest of the night for Kobe. Played all 12 minutes in that first quarter.
Yeah, I think Mike D'Antoni going to Steve Nash knowing that he's got no one that can make a play on the offensive end. And on the defensive end, you've got to box out Splitter. I don't know where Earl Clark's been. That's the second time Splitter's been on the interior with an opportunity to score. He just hasn't made the basket.
Ginobili just testing Duhon and then hits the long jumper. The 2, and San Antonio has its largest lead. Meanwhile, the Lakers have missed their last 4 shots. Jamison able to roll it in over Splitter.
That's a good take. Earl Clark gets in the middle of the lane, kicks to Jamison, he attacks the closeout, and gets himself a little runner, which he's very good at.
Good look by Diaw, and Splitter doing some work around the rim. He's got 6 points, a couple of offensive rebounds.
Yeah, terrific look there by Diaw, underrated playmaker. This guy prefers to pass the basketball. That was a heck of a look.
Speaking of a heck of a look, Nash with a great pass to Clark, who will go to the line.
And how about Diaw just threading the needle here right over the shoulder of Earl Clark, finding Splitter for the easy one.
Ginobili picks up his second foul, and Clark at the free throw line. Take a look at the NBA big board tomorrow on TNT. No Carmelo Anthony. 1-game suspension. He won't play for the Knicks at Indiana. Miami at Portland. Friday on ESPN. These Lakers host Oklahoma City. First at Chicago at New York. Then Sunday on NBA TV. Indiana at Brooklyn.
Indiana getting on a little roll. Playing well without Danny Granger. Nice win against Miami last night.
As you look at the East, clearly Miami and New York. And then who's the third best team?
Well, I'm not seeing anything right now. My crystal ball's a little foggy. Boston playing much better, back to 500 now. A great win in New York the other night. You got to think that they're going to be there at the end. Doc Rivers is going to have his team ready in the postseason. Not much concern about the regular season as Nash does his crafty little layup in the lane.
You know, Derrick Rose does come back right now. The Bulls are only 3 wins behind Miami.
Evidently now dunking the basketball, a little contact in practice.
Here's Diaw with a fall away, and Clark clears. Lakers down 8, and they have the ball. Cut into this lead with Nash on the floor. And then Duhon just couldn't handle the pass. Turnover, and Neal into Duhon. Offensive foul. He made up for it with a good defensive play after giving it up on the other end.
Yeah, those are just the turnovers that we've seen from this Laker team all season long. Duhon does a nice job of getting back into the play and taking that charge on Neal. but just simply dropping the basketball, and that's 6 LA turnovers, almost 16 a night. And you want to be a good defensive team, you can't turn the ball over 16 times that lead to easy fast break opportunities.
Earl Clark attacking the basket and gets the bounce. Clark giving him good minutes off the bench. He's got 5 points and a timeout by San Antonio as the Lakers have cut the lead to 6.
He's been terrific, able to rise up and shoot jump shots. You come out and close on him, he's able to put it on the floor, going to his left, and a nice finish over Splitter, and the Lakers are hanging in.
The NBA
Championship, 874 wins with the same team, second to Jerry Sloan. John Barry, you played for a lot of coaches. Your family members played for a lot of coaches. I think, in fact, you have the whole league covered with all of your family members.
Thank you.
Brent played for Popovich. Where do you rank him among the all-time greats?
Well, I got to say Phil Jackson, Red Auerbach, and Pop. To me, 4 titles. He's this franchise. I mean, you know, every time you watch San Antonio play, what you're going to see. And I think he's in a great place now. I think he's very relaxed. He knows this group. They constantly win in the regular season. They made a great run last year. They're the hottest team in the NBA over the last month and a half of the season. Won 10 straight playoff games. We're up 2-0 against Oklahoma City until they were beaten 4 straight, which was just an absolute shock. But it's a great organization starting from the top, and Greg Popovich is an incredible coach. R.C. Buford, front office guy, just they do it first class. They get good people here, and they do it the right way.
I think the thing that stands out about Popovich from some other coaches is his willingness to evolve and change. You look at offensively how different they are now than they were 5 years ago, where other coaches sometimes stubbornly just hang on to their system. As World Peace misses a 3 and rebounded by Splitter.
No, they won NBA titles because they were a lockdown defensive team. They were always in the top 5 in all defensive categories. But he knows the game has evolved, and he's become more of a perimeter team. And that's what this team is.
Good defense by Nash. Lakers ball down 8. 8 minutes to go in the half. World Peace. And Splitter with a rejection. Lakers keep possession. Nash an open 3. Money.
On the line.
2-point bucket for Nash, but he's almost automatic when he gets an open look from there.
I think one of the most underrated shooters the league has ever seen, along with John Stockton, and I think that's because they're point guards. You don't think of point guards being great shooters, but those two of the best of all time.
Splitter having a field day, might be on his way to a career night against this Laker defense and their lack of size with the injuries to Gasol and Howard. 8 points in a quarter for Splitter, 10 for the game. Clark with the jumper. And Earl Clark off the bench having a terrific night. Got 7 points. Howard is actually active, although he's not going to play. He was on this 2-game trip, Houston and here in San Antonio, as Splitter misses but a foul.
That's just defense that is unacceptable. I mean, you see what's going on one side of the floor. It's a straight pick and roll. So there's no need to hug your man on the weak side. You know exactly what's going to happen. A roll man is going to roll right to the rim as we take a look. There goes Splitter. Where is an LA defender? You can't meet him under the rim. You've got to get out and meet him outside the lane. You cannot allow this guy to get right to the rim. Our test is late, or World Peace is late, and he fouls him.
World Peace picked up the foul, his first, and the second foul on the Lakers. We were talking about Dwight Howard, and Chris Broussard has more on him.
Guys, I spoke with Dwight before the game. He's going to get his shoulder re-examined next week, and he'll go from there as to when he'll return to the court. He said he's not going to return, though, on doctor's orders until he's about 100%. Now, Dwight is still very optimistic about this season. Some people have questioned that, but he told me he still believes in this team. And he said he and assistant coach Chuck Person have compared the Lakers to the bones of a body. They say if you have a lot of bones and you're trying to put them together, at first it's hard to get the right fit, and they're banging into each other, making a lot of noise. But once you get them in the right place, everything runs smoothly. That's what they think is going to happen with the Lakers this season. We'll see if that's the case. Back to you guys.
And if it doesn't, what does that mean? You've got Dwight Howard, who's a free agent. He hasn't said yet if he's definitely coming back to Los Angeles. How do you handle that if you're the Lakers, if you don't know if you might lose him for nothing?
Well, I know right now the hip bone's not connected to the thigh bone.
Yeah, I don't know if Dwight at this point knows what he's going to do. I talked to him about that, asked him that question. He says, look, I'm taking it day by day. I'm praying about the situation. Right now he feels good about Los Angeles, even though things aren't going well. Now the Lakers, I've talked to them about, would you consider trading Dwight before the February 21st trade deadline if you're not convinced he's going to stay? And they told me that thought has not even crossed their minds. It's not even a consideration. And they're really not afraid that Dwight will leave. They feel like any player worth his salt wants to play for the Lakers, looks at the championship banners, the great history, all the great champions here, and wants to face that challenge. And they think Dwight Howard is worth his salt.
Duhon hits a three as Nash somehow got the handle and hit the open Chris Duhon. Well, we'll see what happens if the losing continues, if that changes things for the Lakers and for Dwight Howard.
Yeah, well, I think the only way that they would do that is if Dwight Howard came to them and said, I'm not going to re-sign. And that puts them in a predicament where they have to go get something for him. You can't just let him walk for nothing.
Gary Neal with a two-point basket midway through the second quarter. San Antonio leading the Lakers by 9. Aaron Nash drains it. Steve Nash with 8 points, 2 assists, and he's got 6 points here in the second quarter. Kobe still on the bench after playing all of the first quarter. Good hands by World Peace. Here's Clark. He'll drive it in and scoop it home. Earl Clark with 9 points in 9 minutes. Lakers back within 5.
Earl Clark to save the day, just like we expected. Doing a great job. He really is. Great defense there by Artest. The Lakers are still being active, doing a good job on the glass, getting out and running.
Nash calling for the Sacre screen. Sacre will take the jumper and hit it. And the Lakers within 3. Popovich calls a timeout. A 9-2 Los Angeles run.
Without Kobe Bryant on the floor, Steve Nash more aggressive, but it's Earl Clark on the break with the easy one, and Sacre gets a jumper to go. And the Lakers hanging around here in San Antonio. Here, Dave. 7 of 11 for 16 points. One of the lowest scoring benches in the NBA.
Against the #1 scoring group of reserves in the NBA, the Spurs. By the way, Kobe back out there, as you saw, after playing the entire first quarter. He outscored the Spurs by 4 with Kobe on the bench to get within 3. And Nash with a steal. Nash on Duncan, lost the ball. Here's Ginobili playing in his 34th game. That's as many as he played in last year because of injuries. And the healthy Ginobili stroking it tonight. His second 3.
Great recognition there, Tim Duncan. A little switch. Kobe comes out on Duncan. He goes right to Ginobili, who has Sacre on him. Pick your poison, man, who can go by him or knock down the 3. And he knocks down the 3.
Sacre unable to score inside. Diaw out of there with it. His former teammate Nash trying to pick him up. Ginobili again for 3. This one off target. Actually, one of his baskets earlier in the game was a long 2, but he's got 5 points. San Antonio by 6. World Peace with the left hand able to score.
That's some serious strength right there. He worked hard for that. Diaw in great position. Look at this.
You got to be kidding me. And then Sacre, the foul after the Lakers completely fall asleep on defense.
I just can't understand it. Manu Ginobili standing wide open in the corner after you score on one end. A layup, basically, by world peace, and you give up an uncontested dunk on the other end.
To that guy. I mean, you know Ginobili's going to be trying to do that down court.
Absolutely.
And he got behind Nash and Bryant and then gets the three-point play after Sacre picks up his third foul. They really can't afford to lose him. They don't have any other bigs.
No recognition, no communication. That just simply can't happen. Nash
in and out. Out of bounds off of Sacre, San Antonio ball.
Well, here's Ron Artest, the world meta piece, whatever his name is. They get the ball in 1, 2, 3 dribbles even. It wasn't even a length of the floor pass, and no one recognizes that Manu Ginobili is standing wide open.
He loves to go to that corner in transition. How do you not recognize that if you're the Lakers? Here's Duncan with the elbow J. It's not going tonight for Duncan from outside. Got 6 points, but 3 of 7 shooting, and he's missed some of those jumpers that he normally knocks down. Here's Kobe, 1 of 5 for Bryant, 4 points. Blows by Leonard, takes it to the goal, and is fouled. Looked like a clean block by Duncan.
Are you sure, Dave?
Mark Lindsay says it's a foul, and he's all that matters in this situation.
Well, that was an explosive move to get by a terrific defender, Kawhi Leonard. Over comes Duncan. Looked like a lot of basketball, but Kobe will get himself to the line.
It's been a struggle for Nash working with Sacre tonight.
Well, he's trying to get used to Pau Gasol and Dwight Howard, and here he's got Robert Sacre, who was in a D-League game 2 nights ago. So I'm sure they haven't had much time playing together. You can just see that they're just not in sync. He doesn't know exactly where to go to get the ball in certain situations as we look at Steve Nash's centers when he played with Dallas and Phoenix.
And we've highlighted the ones that you might recognize the names. Although, Kurt Thomas should get a highlight.
Sure.
Gortat, he turned Gortat into a terrific player a year ago. And, you know, Nash, in our conversation with him, said, look, it's taking me time to get used to them and them getting used to me. And you think about what he had with Amari Stoudemire. Hard to recapture that.
Well, it'd be nice if you had another Amari Stoudemire somewhere, but they don't grow on trees. But, you know, Steve is a guy that is a reaction player. The game of basketball is about reaction, and he's finding himself thinking too much. Like, where do I have to get Dwight the basketball? Where does Kobe like the ball? Powell, we got to get him involved in this and that. And he's just got so many things to think about. And when you think, you become a step slow, and people think you're not trying. And it just snowballs into a lot of things that look like there's not an effort. And I just don't believe it's that type of thing with this Laker team, trying to find a system that they all can flourish in. And it's not about effort. It's about being uncomfortable with it. Until they trust it, you're going to see them struggle from time to time.
Lakers in the penalty as Clark picks up his second foul. So Ginobili will go to the free throw line. 8 points for Ginobili. Let's check in on a recent huddle by Mike D'Antoni.
These last couple minutes are crucial. We've had a lot of games where we've let that last 2 minutes slip away. Not this time. Not this time. Defensively, lock them down. Everything is quick, talking, and playing.
And right now the lead is at 7 for San Antonio with 2.5 to go. See what the Lakers do here. 1 field goal for Bryant. Has 6 points. Gives it up that time to Clark, but Ginobili with a strip. Here's Parker on the drive into Bryant. And an offensive foul.
Kobe taking the charge? Get a picture of that. That doesn't happen very often. And it's a good call.
Yep.
I thought he was there. Parker a little out of control. Definitely lowered the shoulder. I think it was the right call.
Parker was thinking like you, there's no way Kobe's going to take the charge.
He's going to bail out of the way here, and I got myself a layup, but he hung in there and took it.
Here's Bryant on Leonard. Kobe down the lane. A pretty move by Bryant. Just the second basket. The Lakers within 5.
Great patience there. Kawhi Leonard doing a nice job not going for the up fakes. And he just gets totally beat on the backdoor cut, looking at the basketball. And he points to Tim Duncan saying, "You got me."
And Duncan's laughing about it.
Oh, no, he said, "You got me there. I was watching you."
An easy bucket for Kawhi Leonard.
Got to see man and ball, Dave. You remember that. You learned that in CYO back in the 3rd grade.
Bo Ryan's camp in Platteville, Wisconsin.
Okay.
Here's World Peace with 5 to shoot. Gets past his man and blew the layup. Got it back, and World Peace puts it in.
He is so strong. around that rim. Loves to use the left hand. He's probably better with his left hand around the rim than he is with his right.
He's got 11 points to lead the Lakers in scoring. Had 24 last night to lead LA in a loss at Houston. Here's Duncan, a much smaller Clark, and Duncan missing on the spin. Rebound by Earl Clark. Got 4 boards and 9 points.
Yeah, great job keeping his ground, not letting Duncan back him in. Earl Clark's been terrific here in the first half.
Bryant hits Duhon in the corner. Can't hit the 3. Inside a minute remaining in the half. San Antonio by 5.
A great look there by Kobe Bryant across court, finding Duhon. Those corner threes on a skip. God, you got to have those. You got to knock those down if you're going to win here in San Antonio.
Ginobili. Duncan able to corral and put it in. Tim Duncan with 8.
Again, no weak side help there. Duncan going straight down the lane. Weak side defenders got to get in front.
Nash from contact but no call. Spurs had a foul to give. Nash got to get back up and play D. San Antonio will hold. There is a 3-second difference between game and shot clock. Spurs led by double figures. LA cutting it to 3. Currently, it's a 7-point lead. Don't forget, preview of game 2 coming up in our halftime show as Ginobili gets the jam. Good look by Parker.
Well, that's Kobe Bryant again. Watching the basketball, he turns his back to Manu Ginobili, and he does the right thing. He cuts to the basket and gets a dunk.
And Ginobili almost gets a steal off of Ginobili. It'll be LA ball.
You see Kobe just watching. He's wearing number 24. That's Willie Mays. He's playing center field. He's got to start watching his man and the basketball.
Here's World Peace with 1. Lets it fly. Good if it goes, but it won't. And the Lakers again struggle defensively. Now San Antonio's an excellent offensive team, but 54 points allowed and 51% shooting by San Antonio. Ginobili at 12. John, for a guy that played against and with all these guys.
Pretty amazing. And Steve Nash started his career. He didn't play. He played behind Jason Kidd for a couple years, and just remarkable. And he was amazed to be in that company. And you talk about being mentioned in the same breath as Magic Johnson with an accomplishment in the NBA. He was pretty floored by that.
He said he had trouble even discussing it based on the losing the Lakers are experiencing right now, as clearly he came to this team to win a title. That was the conversation at the beginning of the year, and now the conversation has turned to, can the Lakers even make the playoffs, as Bryant almost gets a steal. And Green left wide open. Nobody challenges, but Green missed a 3 that nobody blocks out. And Splitter with an easy basket. Just awful.
Yeah, if it's not one thing, it's another. I mean, you give up the open 3, at least go find somebody to put a body on and get to the glass.
There's Morris against Green. Ray will drive, lose the ball, but it will stay Laker ball with 2.4 to shoot. Ray making his 2nd career start. Again, Dwight Howard, Pau Gasol, both out with injuries. So is Jordan Hill. Morris with 1 on the timer, able to hit the shot to beat the buzzer.
I was going to say, shoot the first one. He had an open look right on the inbounds pass, but knocks down a tough one, contested jumper.
And by the way, with Gasol and Howard out, that's $18 million, and Ray starting making $475,000. It's a little bit of a disparity. Bryant in and out, now 2 for 7 from the field. Duncan with a board.
Well, it's one and done for the Lakers. Just 2 offensive boards at the half. The Spurs doing a terrific job on the defensive glass.
Green beat the Lakers with a 3 in the first meeting in Los Angeles. Got it blocked there, and then a foul on Splitter. 2nd on him. Let's check in with the 3rd member of our crew. Here's Chris Broussard.
Guys, I spoke with Darvin Ham, Lakers assistant at halftime, and he said, look, they're happy with the effort that the players are giving. 2 main areas they focused on adjusting to. One, when they make turnovers, they've got to get back because they're not stopping the run-outs by the Spurs. Spurs had 12 fast break points to the Lakers 4. And then they just want guys to be more aware. They're not looking to the Spurs offensive players, and they're getting beat on backdoor layups and things like that, losing their man. So those are the 2 things they talked about at halftime in the Lakers locker room.
Well, I'll agree. They're forcing turnovers. They have 11 turnovers forced. The energy level is good. But yes, the back cuts are hurting them. They're getting no second chance opportunities on the offensive end. But you got to keep San Antonio from getting easy baskets. It's easier said than done. As we said, they're one of the best teams in the league at moving the basketballs. The Lakers are going to get the basketball here on another Spurs turnover.
That's 12 by San Antonio. Metta World Peace with a 3 on the other end. 14 points for him. Had 24 last night to lead the Lakers, a season high.
Well, you got to feel good. You got Kobe Bryant with just 2 field goals, and you're in a 6-point ball game. You've got to feel great if you're LA right now.
Bryant now 2 for 8 and 4 of 6 from the line. Went for the steal. Parker with the easy bucket. As Parker gets deep into the lane and puts it in, he's got 12. Morris on the drive, attacking the rim, and missed the layup. 3 on 3. And Kobe with a block, but will be called for the foul. Second personal on Bryant. As you pointed out, the fact that Kobe is struggling, 2 of 8 from the field, yet the other guys are shooting 50% and keeping them in the game.
We'll give Kawhi Leonard a lot of credit. This guy's one of the better perimeter defenders we have in the league. He's done a sensational job. And Tony Parker mentioned it at halftime. We're collapsing in. We're making sure he sees bodies to try to make him pass the basketball. All difficult opportunities for Kobe. Nobody's made more difficult shots in the NBA history than Kobe Bryant. But tonight, unable to get on track thus far.
San Antonio now 11 of 11 at the free throw line, leading by 10. Sacre underneath, got the dunk, and Nash with the assist.
Nice patience there. Sacre didn't just turn and go up and shoot it. Tony Parker would have stripped that ball because he had a little low. Took his time and got the dunk.
Played in a D-League game on Monday. Flew in late to Houston yesterday. Played against and started. First career start against the Rockets. Started again tonight against San Antonio. Missed by Duncan. Here's Morris. And he just ran right in the green and lost the ball. There's Parker. And Danny Green from the corner buries the open 3. And a technical foul either on Morris or on D'Antoni. D'Antoni's upset with Morris. I think it was Morris
saying, get back,
the tee.
Get back. You just had a bad turnover, and you're going to sit there and sulk about it and yell at the official. And when you're struggling, you can't afford to do that.
And Parker shooting their technical foul. That's the first miss for San Antonio at the line tonight. Lakers ball. San Antonio by 11. The Spurs with the 3rd best record in the NBA. A game back of the Clippers, who will play later tonight on ESPN against Dallas. And the Lakers trying to get back to 3 games under 500 and the 4-game losing streak. Nash an open 3, and that's a 2-foot on the line, but Nash hit it anyway and gives him 10 points.
2 times tonight he's had his foot on the line, but you know, right there, that's something that why don't we see that more? Get Steve Nash more shots. Parker knocks down the runner. Steve Nash, when he gets square and is open, is as good a shooter we have in the NBA. Get him some shots.
Here's Kobe for 3, and Bryant now 2 of 9 shooting, 8 points. Last night, Bryant had 20, his fewest points since November 30th. And he might be headed for fewer than that tonight. Parker on the drive, can't score. Sacre with a rebound. 1 on 3. Bryant into Duncan, lays it in.
Technical foul,
yeah.
Kobe.
Yeah, he wanted the foul and said something to Kennedy. So consecutive technicals in the last minute on the Lakers.
That's just a call that you don't see consistently enough. I mean, I see players do that all the time. I mean, you're going to see Kobe Bryant go to the hole here. He thinks he gets hit on the arm, probably did. And it's just a little wave of the arms and a whatever he might have said. You see that all the time. Like, let's get consistent with that call. If you're going to do it, I see a lot worse than that.
Well,
not get called.
I was going to say, it's not that demonstrative. He's upset, but if he said anything, he said one word, and then
the magic word, evidently.
Well, he turned around and don't know what he said, but a technical, and San Antonio with the ball leading by 10.
nonetheless, Kobe Bryant looks as explosive as I've seen him in at least 3 years. He looks so fit and strong. That was just great explosiveness there right over Duncan. He didn't think twice about going up on him.
He slammed it home on Chris Paul on Friday night in transition. He's shooting a career high from the field, 48% for Bryant, and he's leading the NBA in scoring. First time since 2007. Just 8 tonight. He'll drive baseline with the left hand, can't get it to go. I checked that 10 for Bryant after that layup prior to the technical. Now Leonard with a step back 3, buries it. $13-point lead for San Antonio, its largest of the night. Antoine Jamison can't answer. And world peace, great hustle, strip screen and puts it in.
The hands are just so strong right there. He just picked that ball from Danny Green and lays it in. How many times you see a missed layup on one end lead to an easy opportunity on the other? It just happens time and time again. Kobe misses the layup of 3 the other way as Parker gets another runner with no one in the lane to contest.
That's 18 points, 6 assists for Tony Parker. 8 points coming here in the third quarter. Duncan defending Bryant midway through the third. Zachary setting the screen. Here's Kobe from about 5 feet behind the line. Knocks down a 3.
What a horrible possession. Honestly, it was a terrible possession. You had 5 guys stand and not move within 2 feet of one another, and Kobe Bryant bails him out with a 30-footer.
He was 3 of 11 prior to that. Nash with a strip. Green sets his feet, and he connects on a 3. And Danny Green coming into this game shooting 41% from three-point land. Bryant, consecutive 3s for Kobe.
He needed one to get him going. 30-footer. That time he pulls up right in the face of Kawhi Leonard. He gets it down. And we've got something brewing here. Kobe Bryant, the fire has been lit.
6 points in 32 seconds.
Yeah, he's standing on the S in Spurs. Contested with Tim Duncan in his face. Knocks it in, and this time he doesn't wait for any help to come over. Knocks it in over Leonard. The Lakers back within 10.
Count now, JB, which
I
means
realize
you have to get one.
No.
He opened it last week, and one of the tweets recently was he was questioning whether he was doubting himself. I think as you see those last 2 attempts, you say, I highly doubt that he's doubting his ability.
No.
And here's Bryant again. Leonard, though, with a good play. Got the steal. Leonard takes it into Jamison and spins it in off glass.
You know, it's one thing to turn the basketball over, but it's what time and place. I mean, these turnovers that the Lakers make just seem to lead to easy opportunities on the other end. Oh, no.
Bryant able to roll it home on Splitter and draw the foul. That's 10 in the quarter for Kobe and 18 for the game.
Wow, I thought that was going to be a throwdown, but Splitter comes over. You know what? It looked like Kobe initiated the contact with the offhand. I think that's what Splitter's talking about. Like, Kobe Bryant used the left hand to hit Splitter to get the contact.
It is the third on Splitter.
Greg Popovich feels the same way as he's letting Mark Lindsay have it.
Second team foul in San Antonio, and Bryant struggling at the foul line. He's 4 of 7 at the strike. 10-point game, 4.5 remaining in the third.
So I believe his dander is up at this point right now. Something's lit a fire under him. He's going good here.
Parker quietly having a terrific night. He's at the 20-point mark. He has 10 here in the third.
Well, the Parker pick and roll has killed the Lakers all night long, whether he's pulling up for jumpers or getting in the lane with a runner. No one has put a hand in Tony Parker's face all evening long.
Jamison technically playing the center spot, shoots the 3 and misses, and Ginobili down court can't score. Earl Clark with a board. You see the small lineup for the Lakers with Nash, Bryant, World Peace, Jamison, and Clark. Bryant for 3. Off the mark, and Bryant a little shaken up.
Did he come down on Leonard's foot? I think he might have come down on Kawhi Leonard's foot.
Again, they're already without Howard, Gasol, Jordan Hill, Steve Blake.
Oh, yeah, he turned that right ankle.
Ooh.
He's going to stay in there.
Wow.
They're also without Magic Johnson, Kareem, Worthy, Hoop.
Norm Nixon. Here's World Peace. Just inside, batted around, and Ginobili's got it.
They can't get an offensive rebound. They got 2 offensive boards on the evening. I'll make it 3. I'm sorry.
Ginobili hits Leonard. Another 3. Kawhi Leonard with 11 points, 9 in the quarter. It's a 15-point lead for San Antonio, the largest of the game.
Well, everything going right. Manu meant to hit Tim Duncan on this play, but it ends up in Kawhi Leonard's hands, and he knocks down the corner 3.
Welcome everyone to the NBA All-Star Weekend. LeBron James, the windmill. Are you kidding me? Kyrie. Oh, Bryant takes it in. Rondo. What a move.
Oh, my.
Can you believe that? It's Parker.
Big time.
Wade puts it up for the win. Yeah, baby. What a big time shot. Can you believe that?
To be in a position of fortune and privilege makes you more.
Foot injury out indefinitely, facing a good NC State team. Then Carolina, Florida State at 2. Kobe Bryant, 6 of 15 from the field. Lakers down 15, their largest deficit of the game, as they try to end the 4-game skid. Bryant leaning in, can't draw the foul. Looked at Kennedy, but already one technical for Bryant.
That's just great defense. Kawhi Leonard not going for the pump fake, stays down, stays big, forces a very difficult shot out of Kobe Bryant.
Parker from the elbow, and Tony Parker hits again. 22 for Parker.
You know, at some point, when you make an adjustment to his pick and roll, like double team him and get the ball out of his hands, he's coming off pick and rolls and seeing the whole floor, whether he wants to shoot it, pass it, make it tough on him as World Peace knocks down another.
He has been the most consistent offensive player the last 2 games. Got 19 tonight, 24 last night. Lakers almost fell asleep there. Pass that connected to Leonard a little too late. Otherwise, San Antonio had another layup. And contact out near the top of the key as Duncan hits the deck. And Earl Clark picks up the foul. That's 3 on him.
Yeah, Earl Clark coming up and just shoves Duncan in the back on the pick and roll. At least somebody's trying to do something with a little bit of physicality. I mean, do something on these pick and rolls. If you're the Lakers, you're letting these guys come off. You've got to put some sort of pressure on them. Make them get rid of the basketball and make them feel you.
Well, you play 14 years. How much of defense, and you get different opinions based on who you talk to, how much of it is skill level and what you're doing schematically? How much of it is just effort?
It's 90% effort, and it's anticipation. As Artest fires a 3, I know he's made a couple, but
another steal by World Peace and a blocking foul. World Peace playing his tail off.
It really is.
And Ginobili picks up his 3rd foul.
You know, I thought that was a little bit of a quick 3-point shot, but he makes a hustle play, gets himself to the free throw line, and we'll see if, I don't know. That could have gone either way. Ginobili didn't fall straight back. Anytime you don't fall straight back on a charge opportunity, it makes it look like you're not in position.
Now, you talked about the consistency in the calls. Now, Ginobili's reaction was similar to Kobe's, and no technical call there.
I don't think we're ever going to get it right.
World Peace misses the free throw. Lakers just 5 of 10 at the line as a team.
Well, that was pretty calm and cool. I'll give him that.
It looked like there was a little bit more right when it happened, as opposed to afterwards.
He was just looking upstairs to see where the hot dog stand was or something. It was all right, no big deal.
Missed them both, but Diaw slapped it out of bounds, so it'll stay Laker ball. Inside 2 to play in the 3rd. Well, defense has been a struggle. Lakers on the road giving up 106 points per game. They're 26th overall in points allowed. San Antonio on its way to well over. Kobe, what a shot! Oh, he almost hit the deck. He hung in the air for so long, he almost touched down before he put it in.
Oh. How in the world did he even collect the ball and to get it to the rim? Oh, amazing.
Parker, no. Rebound, Clark. A big 90 seconds here for the Lakers. The Spurs have closed out the first and second quarters well. Clark left open, has had a good night, and it continues. That's 11 points now for Clark. Back to a 10-point deficit for LA.
You know, I like the fight of this Lakers team. And this game was at 15. Could have easily gone the other way. They're sticking to it. And like you said, this last minute and a half here, very crucial if this team is going to get back in the game.
Oh, they call a foul on Clark, and D'Antoni puts his arms to his side and then in his pockets. Lakers did have a foul to give as Clark picks up his fourth.
Wow. Let's see here. I thought Ginobili just lost his balance. Yeah, there's no foul there. So that's good, solid defense. And Kobe on the other end. Watch him lose the basketball. Reed, did he go down? He might have touched the floor first.
It was close.
I'm not sure. But nonetheless, it's spectacular. But he is working so hard right now to just get shots up. He doesn't care what shot it is. Oh, my goodness.
That's 20 points now for Bryant. Ginobili for three. Can't hit it. And Clark with another rebound. 8 boards for Clark. 16 minutes of action.
He's doing a heck of a job for this team.
Lakers with a chance to cut it to single figures inside a minute remaining. Kobe off the bounce. Nails it. 22 for Bryant. And a 9-0 LA run.
Has he had an easy one yet? I mean, these shots are contested. Changes the trajectory. I mean,
here comes the screen by Splitter. Ginobili picked up by Sacre. Got stripped, loose ball, and a foul. This will be free throws as they're over the limit, and Duhan's going to get a technical. He just said the magic word to Bill Kennedy.
He gave him a little rope, and he came back to him about 3 different times. I mean, we've just seen technical fouls being called.
But if you're Duhan, okay, Bill Kennedy's already called. He's already called a technical on Kobe.
What's going to happen?
And on Morris. So if you're Duhan, why would you do that?
Yeah, you just. I understand. You're ready. You're fired up. Your team's getting back into a ball game, but man, those are just plays you just can't make. You can't do it.
So you have the technical, and now you have the free throws by Ginobili. 3rd technical this quarter by the Lakers.
They didn't even call the foul on him. You know, the foul was on Sacre, and he gets a technical foul.
That's 4 on Sacre again. They need him for the 4th quarter. Don't have bodies at the center position. Ginobili. So it goes from an 8-point lead back to 10 with 30 seconds left. About a 9-second difference between game and shot clocks. Kobe fires a 3. Too strong. Now about a 1.5 seconds between game and shot clocks as the Spurs will hold for the final shot. Or it could be the final shot.
I'd say heat check, but we've been in the heat check mode for about 12 minutes in this quarter.
Here's Neal. Takes the 3. Too strong. Kept alive by Diaw. 2 seconds left. Neal into the lane. Scoops. Can't score. And that's the end of the 3rd. 2 opportunities for the Spurs on that final possession. A 9-2 close, though, by the Lakers, despite a great night from Parker so far with 22 points. And the Spurs lead the Lakers by 10.
What will you tell your team in the huddle going into the 4th?
We need to take better shots. We're taking really ridiculous shots, and that's going to lead to fast breaks. Kobe's a competitor. You know, he's going to try to pull this thing out, and he's going to get tougher and tougher as we go. So if we want to take bad shots, we're going to have a problem.
You do anything differently defensively against Kobe in the 4th?
No, I think we're doing a great job. Kawhi Leonard's
Welcome everyone to the NBA All-Star Weekend. LeBron James, the windmill. Are you kidding me? Kyrie. Oh, Bryant takes it in Rondo. What a move. Oh my. Do you believe that? Wow. It's Parker.
Welcome back to San Antonio. Spurs ahead by 10. Pop, what will you tell your team in the huddle going into the fourth?
We need to take better shots. We're taking really ridiculous shots, and that's going to lead to fast breaks. Kobe's a competitor. You know, he's going to try to pull this thing out, and he's going to get tougher and tougher as we go. So if we want to take bad shots, we're going to have a problem.
You do anything differently defensively against Kobe in the fourth?
No, I think we're doing a great job. Kawhi Leonard's growing up as I'm watching him.
Thanks, bro.
Kobe did have 14 points in that third quarter as Spurs miss an open three, and Bryant will start the third on the bench. Kobe also took 13 shots in that third quarter as the ball gets stuck and jump ball.
That kind of year, huh? Oh, my. What a great look.
At least Diallo got a piece of that.
He did a nice job.
Did that by himself.
He certainly affected that shot.
A jump ball at center court. Now, when Kobe was on the bench in the first half, the Lakers outscored the Spurs by 4. As Neal tried to save it, Clark's got it. And Clark